Hi, welcome back to Fit Body for Life TV. I'm Tom. Today I'm going to walk you through my special recipe. This is pumpkin and goat's cheese ravioli with walnut and sage pesto. It's pretty simple to cook. It takes a little bit of time, but it could be a lot worse, and it's totally worth it. I've got a little bit of decent olive oil, got 3/4 of a cup walnuts, 1 cup kind of squished down sage. There's quite a lot in there. Have a smell. It smells good. Got a pack of 1-ton sheets. You can find these in the fridge in your grocery store. I've got 5 cups diced fresh pumpkin. They're about 1 inch cube. If you're going to use canned pumpkin, you're going to need a lot less, because when you put these in the cups, there's a lot of space in there. I've got about 1 ounce of butter, about 4 cloves garlic chopped up, 2 ounces good goat's cheese, and about 3/4 of a cup freshly grated parmesan. First step, we're going to saute the pumpkin, soften that up a little bit with a little bit of garlic butter. Alright, let's get sauteing this pumpkin. Got the ounce of butter and the 4 chopped garlic cloves. I've got this pan on a kind of lowish heat. I've got it on like 3 out of 10. I'm just going to melt that butter down. Cover the pan a little bit. I'll be sauteing this for quite a while. So next I'll scoop all the pumpkin in. So you're going to need quite a big pan for this, because you've got quite a lot of pumpkin there. This is good, it's covering the pan in 1 layer, so this should cook nice and quickly. Just going to add a little tiny bit of salt as well. Give that a quick mix in, and then we're just going to leave that, because it's going to take maybe 15-20 minutes. Just going to check it every now and then. It's hard at the moment to the touch. I'd have to put a bit of pressure on that to cut this pumpkin in half. Once it's done, it's going to be super soft and squishy. That's going to be great to go in the blender to make the ravioli filling. So I'm going to leave that as it is, and we're going to start making the pesto. Alright, we're going to get making this sage walnut pesto. Got the pumpkin sauteing in the background. We're going to want to check up on that every now and then. Just mix it around. First up, we've got the 3/4 cup walnuts. And I've got this little magic bullet device here. It's perfect for making pesto, because the blades on the food processor are quite low down, so they get all the little bits off the bottom. So first we'll kind of split it in half. Maybe put half the walnuts in, maybe half the sage, just because it all likes to stick together. Pretty noisy. Get a good bit of that broken down. Now, I didn't put a specific amount for the olive oil, because I just like to kind of add it and see how it looks. So it's pretty dry at the moment, obviously, so let's put a bit of olive oil in there. Just to help it mix, let's put the rest of the walnuts in now. The rest of the sage. Okay, so it's getting a bit dry again, so we put some more oil in there. You can see it's really like a thick paste right now. We want it a little bit thinner than that, so we're going to put some more oil in there. We're going to add some Parmesan cheese in there as well to give it a real nice flavour. So that's going to thicken it up as well. It's getting there now. Just takes a little bit of trial and error, backwards and forwards, to get that consistency just right. It's always better to add the oil slowly So if you don't put too much in straight away, you're a bit stuck then. That's mixing up nicely now. You get a really dark colour, a little lighter than, a little darker than kind of your standard basil pesto. You see that's pretty thick, but it's a little bit more liquid now. We're still going to add just a little bit more in, and then add some of the parmesan as well. Let's add about half of this parmesan in. We'll save some just to sprinkle on the top to finish off the dish. See how we're looking. Love these little bullet things. You can just pick them up and shake them around to get things mixing in. It's looking good. So that's the pesto done there. You can put that to one side. You can put it in the fridge if you're going to take a while. Let's check on the pumpkin. Alright, now that we've got that pesto made, our pumpkin is all cooked up. Look at that, it's beautiful and brown now. A little bit crispy on the outside, but nice and squishy now. It's a good texture. This is going to blend up beautifully. So I'm going to scoop this into big blender, big blender cup. I've got the garlic in here as well. So just going to blend this nice and slowly to start with. Then we're going to add in ghost cheese. So you can already see how this is going to make a lovely smooth ravioli filling. When we add the goat's cheese in, it's going to be beautiful and creamy, really tasty. Alright, let's blend it up pretty well. Add our goat's cheese in there as well. Maybe a little bit of the parmesan that you've got left. Save a little bit for topping at the end. And a little bit of black pepper as well. And we'll blend all that up again. And that should do it. So now we can scoop that back out into your big bowl. You can see the consistency is pretty thick. Get as much out as you can, because the more you get of this, the more raviolis you can make. This is looking and smelling good. Tastes pretty good too. Next we're going to put those raviolis together with our wonton sheets, and then we're almost there. Alright, we're ready to construct those raviolis. We've got our pumpkin goat's cheese mix here. Got a stack of spare wonton sheets. And I've already laid out, I've got 3 rows of 8 here. So we've got plenty of wonton sheets on some wax paper. 2 teaspoons and a little bowl with just some water in. So, I'm going to scoop some of the ravioli mixture. Spoon that in using the 2 spoons into the center of the sheet. If you want to do, I'll show you 2 different ways to do the ravioli. You can do bigger ones or you can do smaller ones. I'll show you how to do both. If you're going to do bigger ones, you're going to need more mixture on there. so maybe 1.5 teaspoons. Make sure it stays in the middle. If it goes towards the outside, you're going to have trouble sealing the ravioli. If you want to do the smaller ones, just use less mixture, maybe just a small teaspoon's worth. You can go ahead and do the whole of those, the rest of those sheets, but I'll carry on to the next bit. So if you want to make big raviolis, we're going to use 2 1-ton sheets. I've got more mixture on this one. We're just going to put one sheet on top of the other. To make it stick, just going to wet one finger, go around the outside. This is just going to help it stick to the bottom sheet. Try not to get it too wet, just a little layer around the outside. Place the middle on and seal those edges. This is something, if you've got kids, they might like to help you out with this bit. Give those a good squish down, and they should hold up. So there we go, there's quite a large ravioli there. It's going to cook up beautifully. If you want to make smaller raviolis, you can just fold them in half. It's like almost like a mezzaluna. So this one I'm just going to go around 2 of the sides and fold it over into a triangle. And try not to trap any of the mixture in the seal, otherwise it's going to probably pop open when you cook it. Squish those down again. The water's going to help bind that together. There we go, we've got a smaller ravioli. So it's up to you whichever way you want to do that. You can do the big one or the small one. Alright, we've got our pesto now. I've made all the raviolis. I only got about 18, which is a little bit less than I was expecting, but it should be enough. So I've got the pan on, I've got the same big pan on a low heat, about 2 to 3 out of 10. I'm going to scoop a little bit of pesto in there, a few teaspoons. Just do 4 big heaped teaspoons. I'm going to cook about half of this right now. Spread that out a little bit because it's got plenty of oil in there. It's going to help keep the pan lubricated so nothing sticks. Just going to keep moving these around a little bit, try and make sure they don't stick. Pan's not very hot, I can just get in there, use my fingers a little bit. Just be careful if you do that. They cook a lot better once they're coated with a bit of pesto. It's not going to take long to cook, just a couple of minutes. And that's looking about done. So just carefully scoop these out, make sure they don't rip apart on you. This is really such a tasty meal. It feels pretty extravagant, but it's really not too difficult to make. It's nice and simple, this method, using the 1-ton sheets, but you get something that's super tasty. Alright, a couple of sage leaves on top just for decoration. And there we go. There's our finished dish. Tune in to Fit Body for Life TV for more recipes. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.